Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein, and you are watching Eclectic Art.
Go.
Alright, welcome to Eclectic Arts, actually doing a video interview. We're an old school print magazine DIY, and then we moved to the web. And for our very first video interview, we're talking with
I'm first?
You're first.
Wow.
Mr. Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein. Thank you for taking the time to do the interview with
Thanks
us.
for having me first.
Yes, absolutely. So you're here in sunny Seattle. and you're finishing up the Mushroom Head part of the tour right now.
Yes.
And so how's the tour been so far with these guys?
Great. They're really nice guys, and we're having a good time.
Awesome. I saw that they did a mask for you.
They did.
Somewhere.
I don't know where. Not going for it, really.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool that they took the
Yeah,
time
it's
to do
cool.
that. Show you some respect.
Yes.
For sure. And I know early on that you've been trying to get on the tours and not do headlining tours. So what's kind of the pros and cons between the two of them? When you're headlining doing your shows versus being a special guest like on this tour?
Money.
Okay. Comes down to money. And is it more risk doing the headlining versus the special guest part in terms of the money, or?
No, there's less risk.
Okay. So that's what happens when you do the special guest type of slot.
Yeah.
And are you trying to do more of these where you're getting on to other tours?
I want to get on with bigger bands.
Okay.
So we can play more people.
Right. And I know that you mentioned that you're hoping that you're going to get onto these festivals in Europe, but that the booking kind of got messed up. So, is there any potential that you might be going overseas, like to Japan or anything else?
I would love to go to Japan. That's my favorite place to play.
Awesome. I'm Japanese.
You don't look Japanese.
What do you think I look like? That's cool, because I would think that, especially with your background and everything, and having already toured over there, that they would just eat it up over there.
Yeah, it's fun. I love going there.
Yeah. So hopefully your booking agent can figure out a way to get you guys over there.
Or he's fired.
Yeah, there you go. So, we mentioned earlier that I first met you at a Mad Monster convention. You're like, that was lame or it sucked.
Nobody came.
Yeah.
We had it in the city.
Yeah, because it was over on the east side instead of in Seattle, so in Bellevue. Yeah. And you've done other conventions though, like Chiller and Kirk Hammett's Fear Fest and that kind of thing. What have those been like?
Kirk Hammett's was cool. Got to be on the panel with him and Slash and Kirk, which was awesome. They're all the same, just that was fun to do that with those guys.
Okay. Do you ever kind of feel like you're on display at those kind of conventions? If you're at your table and you got your merch and you're there for 6 to 8 hours, that kind of thing?
I'm always on display.
Okay. Well, that actually brings up a question that I'm just kind of thinking about, is that you get recognized out on the street very often? You don't have the makeup and the double
Not
O?
to.
Okay.
Not to.
Okay. Cool. So looking at all the interviews that you've done so far on this leg of the tour, and there must be 12, 13, 14 of them, so I'm trying to find questions that are pertinent to what you want to talk about, but at the same time not be the same stuff that's been hashed over and over again.
You did homework.
I did my homework for the last 3 weeks or so.
Since you're Japanese, when I went to Japan, I did a tutorial on guitar playing, which I didn't know I was doing until I got there. I was very upset that I had to play. And didn't know my own song, I had to figure it out. I think I knew everything about everything. Everything about my guitar. He knew fucking everything. It was crazy.
So very detail-oriented people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can thank my parents for that, or my lineage. But speaking about your guitars, because I also play, and I know you made your Annihilator guitar. How many guitars do you have on tour with you right now for these shows?
That's 5.
Okay. Are any of those the October version, or they're all the ones that you made?
They're all mine.
Okay. So, you said in the past that with the October guitars, they just weren't working for you for whatever reason, the model that they made after the modeled after the Annihilator guitar. What's not really working for you with those models? They didn't listen. Okay, so they just kind of went through and made what they thought was going to be best.
They kept sending me the same guitar back and saying, "No, I think we got it. I think we got it." I'm like, "Fucking stupid."
Okay, so then after a while, you're just like, whatever.
Well, we're done with them. Their contract's up.
Okay.
That's it. So.
Are you looking for another guitar company to make it properly the way you want it?
We're doing some shit.
Okay. One thing that I'd also noticed that you talked about from the early days is that you've been you played through bass cabinets. Is that correct?
Bass amps.
Bass amps. Okay. So the whole thing like Ampeg and that type of thing. Okay. And oh, yeah. Having a little issue. Where did that start from? Playing through bass amps.
Louder.
Okay. So you like that big old bottom end that you
Like
hear?
the bottom on it, yeah. It's weird.
Okay. And then you like the high end but no mids kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it still true that besides finger tape that you're also using Gorilla Snot
And Gorilla Glue.
there we go. Plug for Gorilla Glue.
Oh yeah.
And also gum is important when you're on stage.
Gum is very important.
And which gum would that be?
It's classic.
Okay.
Extra.
Extra, so the sticks that are in like the kind of pinkish package. There you go. So there's their gum.
I just have Trident, sorry.
And one thing I know that happened on the tour is we had a chance to meet Randy Big Gina Johnson. And being here in Seattle, that's a big deal for us since he spent a lot of his time here with the Mariners. What was that like and what kind of knowledge did you drop on you guys?
It's crazy. Just busted open the door and he's like, "Hey, Doyle, how you doing?" And I was just like, my head blew up. And he took pictures, doing the show because he worked for Rolling Stone.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. Went to college for that. And sent Robin in to get him after our show so we can take a picture with him because my kid loves baseball and I wanted to freak him out. Came in and just sat down and started talking about baseball and stats and all this stuff. I'm like, what's he talking about? He's blowing off all the stats and I'm like, and it just turned into like this life lesson and we also had to wear our mouths open like catching flies. It was really cool. It was like life changing. It was really put everything in perspective for us, and we just like walked out, and me and Alex, and Alex inside of his fucking mind, we sat there with a picture like, is anybody else's mind blown? It was awesome.
Is there like one thing you can think of that you talked about that you try to incorporate now into your life?
He says, well, he was talking about that he traveled for 26 years like we do, and when you see New York, Detroit, Cleveland, he says, you guys get to all over the world. You really don't get to see much. He's now traveling. Went and seen the Silverback Gorillas, all this shit, and then he's talking about how lucky we were to do what we like to do for a living, and that we make people happy. And he always tried to better himself, and his skills, and getting knowledge from other older players. It's just really awesome.
Sounds like it was really like life affirming.
It was really cool.
Yeah. Are you a baseball fan?
I hate baseball.
Okay. Yeah, what sport that you like?
I like football.
You're a football.
Let's talk about Pete Carroll. What the fuck was that?
Gonna bring that up here in Seattle. Every Seattle I can't stand.
I'm just gonna say this. I just said it to the other lady that was here. 4 plays in a row, same play, run like that. You can't get a fucking foot in my ass.
I know.
Nobody's gonna stop that.
I know.
You tell him what play we're open. We're right here. And he's gonna get it.
Yeah. All the thousands of people here in Seattle watching that game.
When they lined up to throw that, I was like, who's throwing?
Holy shit.
Retarded.
I know.
What the fuck? Don't throw it.
I think
Why would you do that?
I think everyone in Seattle thought the same exact thing.
Same thought went through.
You're trying to get that quarterback like,
Well, and like you said, it was a second down. It wasn't the fourth
they
down.
had
where you
enough
had to do
time to not
something.
even stop the clock.
Yeah.
You could just ran the same play, lined up, ran it, beautifully.
I know. Just give it to Beast Mode, feed it, get it, he's in, then we win another championship. We have a parade downtown, everybody's happy. Instead of like everyone's like depressed and ready to jump out of windows and all kinds of stuff here.
Enough suicide going on.
Oh my goodness. Do you have a team? What's your favorite team?
Giants.
Okay, that makes sense. New Jersey. Have you been like a Giants fan from way back when? Or? Okay, so that's
Joe Namath and Brent talking to each other.
oh shit. That's old school. Is it Martine? Are you still a Niners fan? You're from Frisco, so.
I am a staunch Seahawks fan these days. I grew up a Niners fan because I didn't know any better.
Switch.
Your team's your team.
I just assumed they went to the Super Bowl every year. When they finally lost, I decided, whatever. And I moved here.
Okay,
It's my football story.
nice. So I have no idea what to say to you in terms of what the hell Pete Carroll was thinking.
Alright, let's move on. That's
Yeah.
depressing. That is fucking shitty. What have you got?
Yeah, no kidding. So I know you have the second album in the can other than the drums.
Right.
And you don't have the artwork, you don't have the title yet.
Very good.
You have a guest drummer that's going to be doing the drum track at some point, and maybe a few guest stars on that second
Correct.
album. All right, cool.
We listened to some of it today. How was it?
It's excellent.
It's good, right?
All right. And that material was basically written when you did Vomiting Herbs at the same
Oh,
time.
we recorded too.
Okay.
Right, recorded. Actually, half of it was going to be on the bomb, and we were going to make it 18 songs, but it was 80 minutes. 79 minutes more.
Okay.
Supposedly they don't give you publishing on anything past 11 songs on the record. So,
Yeah. I'll just save this for the second record. That makes sense. So when do you have like a rough timeline? Maybe summer, fall? That's when you're coming out?
that'll be it.
Okay. So does that mean between now when this tour ends and beginning of May in New York and when that album comes out, you're going to be working on the album and not going back out on the road?
A little vacation. Then back in June. Probably knock that out.
Okay. I'm hoping I get things lined up to promote the second album tour in the fall.
Well, this is only our second tour for this album. I mean, we did 30 days last year or something, and now we just did whatever the fuck we did now. We had a bunch of tours lined up, and Dave Rocky was about with those guys, and he died like a couple of days before the tour. It was going to be announced, and we had some European shit lined up, and then the guy stole all the money. So we've been trying, but everything's been falling apart. So
when you're, just for my own knowledge, and people are going to be watching this, when you're, all this shit costs money, we all know that, and anything that you're doing, this tour bus, the crew that you've got, producing the album, all that kind of thing, your gear, when you're not on the road, are you, working jobs every now and then just to kind of keep the cash flow going, or are you able to live off the music?
I can't talk about that.
Okay. So that's something that's on top. Not a problem. But let's talk about Alex. I saw him here with Cancer Slick at this very same club back in February. There's probably, unfortunately, 20 people here. There's more than that in that club right now.
One maybe.
22.
Oh.
But you've given him a lot of credit in terms of...
He writes the songs. I just write music. They're not called musics.
Okay, so like when you're giving him the music, is it really like fleshed out and then he's putting the lyrics and melodies and everything together with it, or is it kind of like you just have some riffs and he kind of figures out what to
It's
do?
all arranged. It's all written out. What each part is, what I think he should sing, and what I think these parts are. So he doesn't have to figure it out. So you get a bunch of music. He's just like, okay, what is happening here? And you gotta learn what it is. Instead of doing that, every time the music changes, he knows what part we're on. If it's a verse, a pre-chorus, a riff, whatever, middle, whatever. And then at the end, he's singing the riff. Sometimes he'll sing on the riff, like he did on Love Like Murder. So it's whatever he does. I don't change anything he does.
Okay, so
Sometimes he'll be like, can we make the chorus 2 times instead of 4, or make it 4 times? And sometimes we'll go back, no, leave it alone. I wrote something. Yeah, we hardly changed anything.
okay. And I know you play bass on the album too. Is that something you do just to do it, or you actually enjoy playing bass?
I do it because every time you have somebody in your band, if it's a bigger paying gig, they will take it, and why am I going to pay somebody else to do that? Then I have to wait for them to come to my place to do it. I get paid.
drummer from the album, did a lot of Pro Tools over, and Lisa along with you. So who's going to handle that aspect of it? Anybody can just kind of get in and do that kind of thing. Okay. I don't know if you had like a friend or somebody.
No. We get a manager has a studio that he's got a band they own and they do their own stuff. So just gonna record the drums and go together as well.
Because the album sounds amazing. Martine and I are talking about it. That it doesn't sound like it was something that was done basically on your own dime. The way you kind of put it together, it sounded like you were in a professional studio for months putting that thing together.
We're in there for months, all right. That's like what. Yeah.
Cool. And I want to kind of switch gears because I know that you're into veganism, and that came through Alyssa, your girlfriend. And
Actually, Lisa.
oh, Lisa, I got it wrong.
Yeah, so did I.
I don't feel so bad. So is Lisa a white blood? And for those like me, fat, so, what's the difference between being a vegan and a vegetarian?
Absolutely no animal products.
Okay, so the only thing that come from the earth basically. So there's no egg, no cheese,
No eggs, no cheese, there's no leather, there's no milk.
So does that actually go down to like your clothes or your guitar straps and all that stuff? That's all vegan?
Vegan shoes, vegan guitar straps.
Wow, so you went all 100% the whole way. You just worked your way to starting with the food, finding the clothes and everything else. It's like now I'm 100% vegan.
Well, you keep learning every day. There's a lot to learn, you know. Buy products, they got this app, it's called Cultivating. Put it on the barcode, it'll tell you.
Oh, wow.
Instantly.
So how long have you been vegan?
It's about a year and a half. Come on aboard, son. Come on.
Sorry, you in an interview.
Alright.
Well, all right, guys. I'm gonna go get my makeup on.
Alright, buddy.
So what's some of your favorite vegan foods?
I like seitan. It's wheat. It's wheat.
Okay.
It's got a lot of protein.
You have certain dishes that you make or that?
I just mix it with everything. Bananas and rice and vegan bread, peanut butter, hot sauce.
And did I hear also, you were talking about apps earlier about the cruelty-free piece, but is there also that you're using an app to find vegan restaurants?
Happy Cow.
Happy Cow. Okay. And has that been really helpful? You have more vegan stuff
It's
on the bus?
very helpful. You know, we go to Whole Foods all the time. We pull in and we all go shopping. She usually goes shopping. She's vegan too, so I don't have to worry about whatever she's buying. It's
Okay.
so it's good.
And is your hot sauce vegan based?
Sure is.
Okay. And I know you've got a second hot sauce coming out.
Abominator.
Yeah, it's gonna like turn some like that.
That's what we're trying to do. Everybody's trying. You want to try it?
Sure, I'd love to.
I got it. Where's the chips?
In the cabinet up
This
here.
one? You guys can eat chips, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Everybody's got to try it.
Alright. Go. Alright, Mark, let's see what it's like. And he went for seconds. Okay.
It's really good.
Great, go.
You
Yep.
mentioned recently too that audiences here in the U.S. are just kind of lame. Is that lame? I mean, I'm 44, so I go back to the days of the 80s and that kind of stuff. Some of the shows have been amazing here, but do you think it's just a generational thing in terms of like the kids all
No, I think it's a telephone thing.
Okay.
When I play with Danzig, they're not allowed to have phones, and then I start doing my own show. I've been playing with it for 9 years, so I haven't really noticed it. I don't go to shows. Going to shows is like going to work. You don't have to. I don't want to go to shows. Rarely go to shows, you know, unless it's my friends. You know what I mean? And oh, they're watching me through their phone. How the fuck are you enjoying that? Are you that addicted to that thing that's how you have to watch it? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no.
You don't get good footage,
Right.
you know, and just enjoy it. Want to take a couple pictures? Take a couple pictures. Don't stick that phone in my face. They're lucky it's not 10 or 15 years ago. Would fucking stick that phone down their fucking throat.
Yeah, because I know, like, not only with the phone thing, but you talk about, like, downloading music and that kind of thing, that you wouldn't go into a record store like Tower Records back in the day, take 10 albums and walk out.
That's what these guys are doing.
You pay for it.
That's it, man. You're stealing our product.
Yeah, that you've been busting your ass
You
over.
want more, but now you're stealing it and everybody's going to get a job. You don't understand? That's how we feed our kids.
Right. It's your livelihood.
That's it, man.
So I know we need to kind of get wrapping this up. So one thing I was going to ask you was that would you ever consider, if the booking agents or whoever kind of got this thing together, doing something with Alex doing double duty, Cancer Slug, and you?
I would not want to do that to him.
Okay, just too brutal.
That's a little much.
Okay.
If we had a blood, but I think it's a nice show. Paramedics do.
Okay, because I know he's good friends like with Cannibal Corpse, and they just came through town. I thought, man,
Yeah.
with Doyle, Cancer Slug, and those guys, holy shit.
Yeah, I would love to tour Cannibal Corpse. I love those guys.
Really good dudes.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Martine, you want to ask about the makeup?
Yes, I was going to ask you, because I know you've kind of cultivated your own look over the years. Have you, I in the cosmetology industry myself, and you do a really excellent job on your makeup. I was just wondering, have you ever had any formal professional training in that regard, or is that all completely just over the years
Honestly,
cultivating it yourself?
I've been doing it with my fingers for so long, and then when I met Elisa, she was using brushes. She was really good at it, and I started using brushes, and then watching how she did it, I learned so much, and it's knocked 20 minutes off my time.
Absolutely. And additionally, just to follow up, do you ever use YouTube makeup tutorials for tips?
No, I don't.
All just completely just visual, and then you just do it?
Shading my fucking giant skull. What am I gonna do?
Well, it looks
Who
very
else doing this
impressive.
on a tutorial? Nobody.
You never know, they're out there.
All right. Daryl, thank you so much for your time.
All right,
really
man.
appreciate it, man. And have a great show.
Okay. All right, cool. Thanks, man.
All right.